2020, the year of our Lord. There were 139 running backs this year. Out of those 139, only 7 made it to the 1,000-yard mark. Today we're here to talk about, is the running game dying? Here on A&W Sports. That's only 5% of running backs in the NFL. Each team could theoretically have 4.3 running backs. Some have more, some have less. Yet we see that only the most elite running backs are making it to this point. For comparison, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen make up over a fourth of their team's rushing yards this year. Let's go over the top 3 quarterbacks in rushing this year. We have Jalen Hurts with 782 yards, Josh Allen with 763 yards, and Lamar Jackson, who's even injured this year, only had a 767 yards. The average season for Lamar yields him about 1,000 rushing yards, by the way. There's only 22 running backs better. Even Kyler Murray, he's a little down this year. He only got 423 rushing yards. Deshawn Watson for the Texans didn't actually play this year, and Trevor Lawrence had a bit of a bust year. However, admittedly, the running back stats fall off a bit after Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen, quite a bit. I think Kyler Murray is the next one, and he had 400 yards rushing. The recent trend of athletic quarterbacks has been moving into the running back game. With more athletic quarterbacks, we're getting more quarterback runs, more quarterback sneaks, quarterback draws, and then just, plays falling apart, so they'll do whatever they want. I think one of the first ones we had RG3 and, what was his name? Tyrod Taylor. In his 3 years during the Buffalo stint there, each season yielded over 400 rushing yards, and he actually was doing quite well. However, just circumstances, he became more of a journeyman than a franchise quarterback. So we've seen more guys like Deshawn Watson. We've had guys that, go just be able to run. Justin Herbert's one of those guys. Russell Wilson really caught on well up in Seattle. Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa. They keep coming back, and more teams are like, hey, this guy can run. We like that. So that's becoming bigger. Whereas in the 70s, over a majority of teams had 2,000 yards rushing. This is the later 70s. Recently, in the 2000-plus era, only about 12 out of 32, and it ranges from season to season, have over 2,000 rushing yards total. And that's really even before the mobile quarterback phase. It's been taking over the NFL here recently, 2010 plus. But running backs have gone down, and bigger guys up there really just slamming them. They're going down easily. Gurley, he only had a couple seasons. He was more of a bam, I'm here now, I'm really good. And then, unfortunately, he got injured and hasn't played much football. However, there is still hope for teams that want more of a rushing style, which is a traditional running back instead of a quarterback, running. Teams are slowly getting better at protecting against quarterback runs. What used to be really electric offenses and, whoa, how are we ever going to stop this guy? That's slowly going away. I mean, it's slowly, but it's still going away. And teams are getting better at that dual threat offense protection. And so we might see running backs go back up in importance and general relativity. I could see the NFL, being the NFL, might just ban quarterback runs. That way we can keep it the old-fashioned way. But, I mean, who knows? We got games like the XFL coming out. They're allowing more and more quarterback passes, 2 throws behind the line. And if the XFL does catch on, then that might be something we see. We might see more running backs turn to quarterbacks. That would be interesting to see. But slowly, we are seeing the decline of running backs, and it's really unfortunate that we're not seeing these big powerhouse, bam, run through the big linemen, breaking ankles, breaking people. We still see it, but it's more of a localized group of players. What used to be just absolute fantastic running backs. It's going down in popularity. We have more air raid offensive quarterback runs. I mean, and that's just the way the NFL is trending. And so we might see running backs fade off all the way, or possibly we'll see them come back with a strange new rule, something like the XFL, allow running backs to change. For the most part, it's always been run up the middle. But running up the middle has gotten harder. We have bigger, faster guys. Got J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, Aaron Donald for the Rams. They're getting really big. And the Georgia defensive line this year, Georgia Bulldogs, were absolutely amazing. And, they were able to stop the Alabama offense really nice, which was pretty sad to see. I'm an Alabama fan, but it's whatever. I roll Tide, but you can't win them all. So, really, in conclusion, how do you save the running back? Do you introduce a brand new rule, sort of like the XFL, with the two forward passes behind the line of scrimmage, or maybe you try to? I mean, it's the NFL; they can get away with anything. They could try to discourage run pass options. The running back might need to change more to a wide receiver position. But it's really about trying to get these running backs. We don't have the running game, but the running game is getting harder to play. The general trend from the 70s to now, over half the teams aren't even able to produce 2,000-yard seasons in the rushing game. You got to make sure that you can keep the rushing game alive, because that's really important. But air raid offenses are really big. Rushing quarterbacks, that's also really big. But right now, teams are actually skimping on the offensive line because they've got we got a really fast quarterback. He can just run away. But that causes problems for your rush offense. So we could see, a brand new style of football where we have an XFL rule, or maybe NFL should just hire better linemen. I don't know. But if the NFL is unable to stop these problems of a dying running back, we may have more and more people say, you know what, the XFL will let my abilities showcase more. Unless the NFL just wants football and the running game to completely become obsolete, they need to figure out a better way of moving the chains with the running game. But that's all I have for you today. I'll be back eventually with another episode. Signing off for now, A&W Sports with Walker. To 100,000 subscribers. That way I can be famous.